Okay, so let's do part 2. Last time we had a look at the bumper. That's a good start. Last time we had a good what time is it? It's still early. So last time we had a look at the fenders, and we did something quite simple. We looked at different features of Blender, different functions, shortcuts and everything, and with that we managed to create some very weak looking fender. But today we're actually going to take this a little bit further, and I'm going to be showing you a little bit of different modifiers, and maybe we'll actually go forward and move this part 2 a little bit further in a way that at the end of part 2 we have something that looks a bit more acceptable. Let's see. So yeah, let's go. Okay, so we have whatever we've done the last time, and I'm going to go over the same parts again and see what we can improve. You know how sometimes you get back to an old work and then you kind of, what was I thinking? This is the exact feeling I have right now because this is quite wonky. But anyway, like I said the last time, it was just for teaching purposes. So let's see if we can sort out some things here. I hope you guys remember the shortcuts that we've been using last time, because I'll be using this a lot. I will be telling you which one they are from time to time, but if you actually are a bit lost, I will actually recommend you do a little refresher on the last one, just in case, to get back on track with the shortcuts and different keys we use. Yeah, that's shortcuts, right? Yeah, just do a refresher, it always helps. But I will also advise you to do a little bit of have a little cheat sheet on the side. Cheat sheet on the side, not a cheat sheet. So have a cheat sheet on the side, and you know, it always helps, because you can always refer to what shortcuts you can use to create, like to move something, to resize. I mean, these are basics, right? But you know, it always helps. So yeah, a cheat sheet on the side always is a good thing. But at some point this becomes such a habit, it's basically like muscle memory in a way. So if you remember correctly, last time I've been using a lot of this loop cut, and I've also been using the cut tool, the knife. So yeah, so what we're gonna do today, we're going to actually take these we're actually going to take these two fenders. I'm going to extend it slightly forward, maybe create something a little bit anyway, at the end of this part 2, maybe this car, this Challenger, in terms of muscle, is going to look rather questionable. So let's not really pay attention to that, but I hope that it will actually show you a bit more on what you can do. So let's see. Let's take the rear fender, for example, and let's look at the different type of creases we have. We have to get rid of some. Remember, if I say you go on 1, 2, 3 is vertex, edge and face. We go on the edge and edge select. We click on one of these. There was 2 of them here, and you click you press X on your keyboard, you dissolve one edge. But right now I don't want to dissolve that one, so if I click this, dissolve edge, you will remove one. So quick refresher on the last one. If you add Ctrl R, if you press this and drag here, you get a loop cut that gives it a bit of an edge. So I'm going to leave this one here for now. So let's look at the fenders and see what we can do with that. Let's take the first one to begin with. I'm gonna have to, I think I want to make it a little bit wider. Press E to extrude along the x-axis. One thing I didn't tell you the last time, if you select any vertex, you press G, you move it. If you press G 2 times, it will move it along the line. So this is actually really useful. So press G 2 times and move it here. Now you select all of these. If you press G 2 times, it's not going to work the same because there's nothing to follow here. So press G and move this along the x-axis. So we're going to, you know, you can use the snap tool here. I don't really use it. I did mention the last time, I'm still learning Blender myself, and I am yet to get a bit comfortable with this snapping tool. But I would suggest you play with it. Right now I'm just not going to use it. I will use it when I'm a bit more, you know, sure of how to do it myself. So anyway, I'm a noob, so let's go. So yeah, I do want to make this a little bit wider here, and because I want to give this kind of racy, let's say a weird looking IMSA race car. That's what I have in mind. I obviously don't want to spend a billion of hours on this, so you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to actually delete these wheels. I'm going to go on File, I'm going to go on Import and FBX. Import, File, Import, FBX. Oh crap, you don't actually see this window here anyway, which is fine. Yeah, take your time. Okay, so I'm just going to use this here for now, because this is, I don't need anything you know, I don't need anything specific here, so I'm just going to combine these for it to be easier to move. I will separate them later. So remember, use G to move along the y-axis, and now you can use something here if in terms of resizing. Now I am resizing like global, no, I'm actually resizing all of these, but if I choose individual origins, it will change it. I would suggest you explore a bit with this, because it's going to come in handy. I will definitely cover some of these later on as well. Right now it's not that important, although it is a very important feature of Blender. Right now I'm just not going to go over this. So well, this looks weird. Okay, make sure you align it properly. There's a lot of ways to do. You can align things with different things. You go and search align, and then you know, oh, that's not what I meant. Align, and then you can align objects to, you know. But right now I'm not going to cover all of this. It's going to be a bit too overwhelming. So so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to place these wheels correctly where they need to be. Let's go here. Make the rear one a bit bigger. Oh boy. So yeah, let's leave it here for now. Anyway, there's a lot of ways to approach this, but right now I'm going to I'm going to take this down, and we also want to remove this part here. Now listen, there's a lot of ways to do this. Sometimes I just get lazy and I just move the different vertices up. Just, you know, it's a bit of a not clean job, but you know, if it's just for a visual representation of something, you don't really have much time to go through all of this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to move my 3D cursor here with shift right key, and I'm going to create a cylinder. Press R, Y to rotate on the Y axis. That didn't work. Let's try again. Now we're going to do this here. I'm going to create a circle here, a cylinder basically, and I'm going to click on this. Let me make a backup of this one and put it here. Now I will click on this one and I will use this modifier called Boolean, right? And then I will make sure it's on difference and click this tool here and click on this cylinder and then just apply. Now if you move this, you will have cut a hole in here, which is, you know, a hole. So we're going to do the same here. We add the Boolean, select this again, and we're going to apply. There you go. So we're going to do the same on the front. However, we need a smaller cut. Let me merge these two. What if I actually do something a bit silly and try both of these? Let's try. I don't know if it'll work. Let's do this. Let's do that. And let's do apply. Wheel's not going anywhere. It worked! Of course it will. You merge both of them. Okay, let's delete these. Let's delete this number plate as well. Thank you, Hamster 3D. Let's delete all of these. And let's delete these boring looking side mirrors as well. Who needs mirrors anyway? Okay, Hamster 3D, let's go. Need those. Okay, so we have this some sort of lining here. I don't know what to do with that, so I'm just going to lift it up a bit. I think it's the easiest thing to do right now. I could actually replace it with something that actually is for the new size of the wheel, but I can't be bothered right now, so oh. I don't recommend you do that because it's a very dirty job. I have a bit of a flow here. I tend to take a lot of naughty shortcuts and things. You will learn to do it as well when it's acceptable. But anyway, right now I don't care so much, so I'm just going to move it. But you know, from all of what I've done here so far, I think it's pretty easy for you to understand how we can actually create something else that replaces this one. So another tool that is actually very useful in Blender, important one, is this here, the proportional editing. You click on here, make sure it's on smooth. You can try out these others, but right now we need the smooth one. If you press G and then you scroll up, you will see the circle is moving. If the smaller it is, well, you know, you get the idea, right? I will let you explore with this. I'm going to select these. I will use proportional editing and I will move these up slightly. And it works same with resize and everything. See, this is very dirty work, but no one's gonna know. Wait, it's on YouTube. Okay, so let's look from the back. Okay, yeah, I need this car to look properly wide because I want it to be ridiculous, and yeah, look how beautiful this looks here. I need to sort it out. Okay, so right now we have our wheels, we have our ride height that we want. Let me just duplicate, Shift D, move along the x-axis, and I'm gonna right click and mirror this on the x-axis, and let me put this here. Okay, so let me just continue here. Now this is a part where you guys have to, this is up to you here. Make sure you disable proportional editing here. Make sure yeah, so this is up to you guys. This is where you actually come up with your own type of fender, type of lines that you want to use. You can actually use all of the things that I've told you so far, and like make your own type of thing. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to be refining this here. You select all of these, right? Select all of these. For example, here I'm going to select these and press X. I will delete the vertices. Okay, so this is what I have. I want to create one here. Remove edge. Let's see. Okay. So I want to follow the line of the car a bit more. Okay. This looks ridiculous here, so we're going to follow it completely here. Okay, so this is gonna go on for a while, so I think I'm sure you're all waiting to hear the rest of the sentence, but I don't even know what it is. I'm just... Okay, so I don't know. I'm sure you guys are doing the same. I mean, that's how I actually follow tutorials. I go through the whole thing, and meanwhile I'm doing the same. That's what you should be doing. Don't just watch the video, and this is what's actually going to help you. Putting it in practice while you are going through it. Okay, so remember to use your X-ray tool. If it's a tool, is it a tool? The X-ray view. Yeah, it's here. The toggle X-ray. Transparent scene display allows selecting through items. Well, that explains it. I said this. I said something about this the last time. How important it is. How you should be relying on it a lot. So make sure you're using it. So yes, fenders are done here on the front. No, it's not, but for now it is. Let's look at the back. So like I said, this is a lot to do with your design here, with the help of the different options that you get to use, the loop cut, the knife, and all of these things. You get to come up with your own design. For example, if you put a double loop cut here, you get something a bit sharper. If you want to leave a let's say, let's do it. So if you want to do like a big opening here, this is how you do it. So yeah, it's really up to you at this stage to figure out what kind of look you want to give this Challenger or any car you're working on at the moment. It could be anything. It could be a Mini Cooper, it could be Reliant Robin, which would be cool. So let me delete this vertex here, let me delete this one here. Now if you click on this, I want to connect these two. I don't know if you noticed I did something quite quick a moment ago. I did not do it. I will do it now. So I click on this one and this one. I will Control J. I will mix them together, combine them, and I want to take this one and this one. I want to connect it together. So you go and search and you type bridge. You will bridge these two together. Don't need this. I will dissolve it, dissolve this edge here. I will add some loop cuts here to give it a bit more sharp look. I will add a loop cut at the bottom, select all of these, and what did I just do here? Can you see there is the x-axis here, some other important tool functions, let's say. If I press S for resize and I press X on the x-axis and I type 0 on my numpad, it will align it properly, and I press enter. I do that a lot. It works also on the other axis, Z-axis, 0, S for resize, for scale, and Z for Z-axis, S, Z, 0, enter. So this is also a very useful set of shortcuts that I use as well. So I hope it comes in handy for you. Okay. So let's rotate this slightly here. Okay, I'm getting something a little bit wider and more acceptable for my standards. Anyway, okay, let's move this here. Still don't know what kind of design I'm doing myself, so feel free to explore yourself. Don't rush into anything. Don't rush to get things done, basically. So, okay, let's move on the rear part of this fender. I'm going to align this up. I'm going to take this vertices here, press G 2 times and move it up here. I will need something here though to let's move this one here. Let's move this one here. Remember, on Blender, it's really important to learn how to use shortcuts. It's basically, if you can't use shortcuts, maybe just don't use Blender, because I think that's what makes it so special in a way. It makes your workflow much better, faster, easier. Okay, so let's take the outer part of this here. Let's not select these two. Remember, to deselect, you press Control and hold on your keyboard. Hold Control, press and hold Control, and then you, like this. If you press Shift, it selects. Right, so okay, so I'm starting to have something a little bit more interesting looking for a purist. Okay. Play with your loop cuts, play with your knife tool and all of these. This is how you are going to come up with your own look of your fenders or whatever you're doing. So I think this is getting there. Okay, now I'm going to leave it like that for now. Make sure to explore with the snapping tool here. I think I want something that is a bit open here, so I'm going to try and do this. However, do I need it here? It looks cool. It's for the brakes. No engine to cool at the back, so it's for the brakes. Okay, so I think we are almost done with the main part of this. Okay, so for now we have something that looks a bit decent. Let's add some creases here. So if you add some creases, you will start to get some different lines. Now, if you want to make it a bit more pronounced at the top, or whatever you want to do. Remember to hold the Alt on your keyboard, press your middle mouse button and scroll to get the different views, or use your numpad. 1, 3, 7, 9. Okay, so let's go on the top. So see, I added a crease here, another loop cut. It gives it a little bit of sharpness, but you can do whatever you want here. Just basically go nuts. See? Explore basically. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this here because it's too much. However, when you're moving your vertices, make sure you are moving along the different axes, because it keeps your work clean. A bit ironic, considering this part where I was working on the wheel. But still, whatever you can see needs to look good. So. Okay, so now we're going to touch on the last part of this one, of this episode, of this part, whatever you want to call it. Next week I'm going to continue with the kit and you know, make everything look a bit more complete. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to add modifier, which is actually very helpful as well, useful. So you click on here and you okay, so you add Solidify. Now you can play with it, with the thickness and everything. I will add on 2 and I will apply this and I will start playing around with this. Now if you have different loop cuts, you have to make sure you're correcting them all, making sure it looks clean before you work on it. Now that's one approach to, you know, adding some thickness to different parts. There's different ways to do it, so if you know another way, please share it. So that's how I've been doing a few things. Not everything works the same way, not every part will work the same way. Make sure you actually do things separately as well, because well, it gets you a better control. So that's one thing. You can add this here and one here. I'm adding some loop cuts in between so it looks a bit more solid, and add another edge so it's a bit more consistent, it's a bit more straight. You will get the idea of this while you work, and you know, it's actually quite easy. See, right now I just edited it and you see there is a little bit of crease here. That's exactly what I was talking about. So you click on here, I will look for this edge. See, it's this one. I select all of them, make sure I'm on edge select, alt click, I dissolve the edge and I added one more. It will still give me the same thing, but I remove the crease. There is another one at the bottom here, this one, I can remove it. I don't need it actually, I don't need another one. So, I mean actually I do, yeah. So, see, you don't have the crease anymore. Anyway, basically that's quite rough. So just make sure that you are, you know, paying enough attention to the vertices, to where things are placed, how your lines are, so you get a clean outcome of whatever you're working on. So play around with this and have some fun. Come up with something exciting looking, and I think that's it. So spend quite some time on it though, because if you rush things, it's not going to be worth it. So take your time with it, especially when you're learning, obviously, and do something meaningful. Okay, so here we go for today, I guess. So for example here, you see these lines, it will be quite nice to have this line here follow in a way. See, it's always good to have a plan of what you're doing before you actually get in, because then the more of a plan you have, the cleaner your outcome can be, basically. So that doesn't mean you should always have one. Just sometimes you just want to go in and explore, and you know, go nuts. And this one as well. Anyway, you play with it, give it some lines, give it some, give it a character, whatever you do. So play along with it. So next time we're going to look at the front of this, and we're going to add some spoiler and some spoiler. Maybe one will be enough. And yeah, we'll embellish this a little bit and see what else we can do. And maybe we'll do some very simple different materials in Keyshot or something, or maybe not. tell me what you'd like to see next in the comments below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you want a refresher, go back on the part 1 and see where it all started, and hopefully this is being useful for you. And yeah, I'll see you next week for maybe the rest of this, and maybe during the week, or maybe at some random day, I will have some different video uploaded, because I do have some other voiceover time-lapse that I've done, voiceover and time-lapse. Anyway, I'll see you next week.